gentlemen, you're allowed to sit and stay. If you would all rise and put our flag over in the corner.
Here, forgot to move it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have
Mike.
We just talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We have two board members not with us this evening. One, as you may recall, is on a leave of absence, and the other, Ron Brown, Mike, he got called out on duty. I'm not sure whether it was a helicopter or a plane, helicopter.
Helicopter.
So he's hoping to be back at some point this evening. So that's our roll call. Additional business and approval of agenda. Anything that we need to add to the agenda that came out of either the work session or a discussion? George? Correct, yes. You're covering one of his responsibilities, I believe, along with Beth. And I think he is still with you, Matt? Okay, so I will talk with him and see what the story is. Okay, because I believe he should be back next month. It was August 9th. Yeah. Okay, I'll check with him. We gave him a 4-month, I believe, so I have to go back. 3 month. Okay. So then it would be August, I guess. I will check with him. Anything else that need to go on the agenda? We're okay. All right, submission of agenda items, speaking of that, prior to 5 p.m. on the Wednesday prior to the meeting. Nothing new. Next meeting dates, regular board of directors meeting will be August 9th and then September 13th, both of which are the second Wednesday of each of those months. President's remarks. I'm pleased with what's going on in our community with our variety of volunteers that are helping us, our paid staff, whether it be security or maintenance. Are you going to touch on the security situation hiring, or should I deal with that one now? Okay, all right. Legal issues, John, anything? No? That's good. Special orders, anybody want to approach the microphone and share any concerns, accommodations, what might be on your mind this evening? No? Okay. It's tough, Lenny, when you're the only one that here who might say something, yeah. Okay, moving along, community manager's report. Michael.
Just to report a couple items. We did have another 3 closings of sales in June for an additional $12,600 of initiation fees. We are now year-to-date at $42,000. I think of particular note is that we still continue to have a very robust backlog of activity. We have 9 open resale certificates. Those could all be transactions in the month of July still. But anyway, that continues to be a very active area. I do need a motion this evening. I need a motion to suspend the membership privileges of the 14 members listed in attachment 1 of my report, the non-payment of fiscal 2018 dues and assessments effective today, and to remain in effect until the delinquent amount is paid in full.
Tom, so moved. Second. You got that? Okay. Thank you. That's it. Any discussion then? We're all okay. It was updated as of today. So any discussion? All in favor? Right hand up. Aye. Okay. Unanimous. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. The only other thing I wanted to mention was that, at the last meeting I mentioned regarding the exploration of our pipe under the dam, that we were going to have a phone conference with a gentleman that would give us some information about what to expect. And I just want to let you know that we did do that. We talked with a fellow by the name of Tom Baxter of Divers Inc. Tom may have another word or two to say about it later in the meeting, but I was very pleased with what we learned. We asked Rick Franzese, who's on our spillway committee, but more importantly, understands the technical stuff. He was able to grill this guy pretty good, which is what we needed. And we came away feeling pretty good about what we know about it, and actually equally importantly, pretty good about that company and that gentleman as a possible vendor. So that ended up being great. So those are the key points that I wanted to make this evening. So.
Okay. Barbara, you're up next.
Secretary's report, basically on block. Anybody have any questions? Or?
No questions.
Okay, I do.
You may.
I do want to have one correction made to the June 14th, 2017 minutes, that under the FSRB appeal, it says that, I wrote on, sorry, one not voting. I had requested be Mrs. Keaton will not vote on the motion, so I'd like that to be changed, please. You know, without that wording.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to accept all of those things of Barbara's at one time. Tom, second? Ernie? Good. I appreciate your two-person act here. Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Treasurer's report, Tom?
Report is included in the handout package when we came in here. Essentially, we're pretty close to target. We've 25% of the year elapsed. We spent 26.3% of our money, but that is not a indication that we're going to continue to exceed by 1.3% every quarter. Things will level out as the year goes on.
Questions for Tom? I don't know how you could. Okay, we did have a report by the auditor this evening, and everything looked really good. So I thank Tom, and I thank Mike, and I thank Stephanie for their involvement in that, and I thank the entire board for being careful with the dollars that we're spending. Hopefully we are spending money by investing it in our community and all those things that our community owns that helps the value of not only our community, but each individual resident. So thank you very much. Unfinished business would be me. I don't have the people sitting out there this evening who last meeting were giving me facial expressions as I was discussing what we were doing. But if you recall, the board had me form a committee if we had enough interest in it, and we did, to look into seeing if we could come up with answers to the concerns that the community had and the board had for the yard sale. And the bottom line is the last thing that the committee decided to do was to put an article in the newsletter in June, to contact the office if they were interested in assisting that committee and assisting us in the yard sale by helping, whether it was directing traffic or whatever the case might be. And I think when I added up the total number of people from the fishing club and the total number of people from the women's club and eliminated the duplicates, and the 3 that Steph got, I think we had 10 people in the community who were willing to assist in having a yard sale. So interesting how we had 140 people on the petition to, thank you, on the petition to have a yard sale. So we are not having one for 2017. whether they come back and request that, or whether, the ski club or one of our organizations, which would have had to sponsor it anyway, would like to tackle that in 2018, they'll need to come to the board or send a letter to the board requesting that. So that's where we stand on yard sales. Michael?
I just wanted to give you one update, since we haven't had a meeting lately for the future consideration, and that is I did check into the idea of volunteers controlling or managing or directing traffic. Our insurance broker was not too keen on the amount of liability that we might be taking on with untrained people being directing traffic and so forth. So it's just a piece of information for down the road.
Thank you. That word, I think, got out. As a matter of fact, the word obviously on the number of people who called to the office or sent an email to the office saying that they would assist, because at the last meeting we had of the committee, which was held the Wednesday that the Women's Club had the state police officer in making his presentation, we decided as a committee to hold our meeting at 6 o'clock. And at that meeting, I believe there were 4 of us, or just 3 of us. Oh, and Bill was there. Yeah, 4. Yeah. There were 4 members at that meeting to even find out what the results were. So I felt bad for those people who really wanted to put the effort into it until that night. So that's all I'll say about that. Any other unfinished business? Any new business? Okay, other side of my agenda, we will do committee reports, and we will start out with Tom because Ron's not here unless you want to hit Ron, yeah.
The only thing I'm going to try to do on Ron's behalf is just update everybody regarding our efforts to fill a third shift position, a full-time position to handle third shift in the gatehouse. We did successfully get resumes. We did cull that down to 5 people that we interviewed. We did cull that down to 3 people that we asked the personnel committee to see. One of those people dropped out prior to that interview. The other 2 people did get interviewed, and we did get down to a finalist and made an offer, bottom line, which was ultimately turned down. So we are back at ground zero. You will see the jobs posted in the various newspapers and so forth this weekend in an effort to garner another round of resumes. So wish us luck.
Okay, Tom, anything from your Fine, Spillway, or Finance Committee?
No activity on the Finance Committee for this month. Spillway Committee has not been meeting, but as Mike mentioned, we did have a discussion with the diving company to examine the pipe, and we looked at, I recall looking at the video that was taken in 06, and all I kind of saw was a tannish looking hole, which was the pipe, and I couldn't tell if there were any holes in it or anything. I mean, we let the diving company take a look at that video, and they said, well, that video is virtually useless. That if you submitted something like that to DEP now, they would totally reject it. And in our conversation with the potential contractor, we said, what we want to look at and find out is if there's any corrosion beginning on the pipe that could potentially lead to a leak. And we need an examination that will tell us yes or no that in fact is the case. And we had a very positive discussion with people. They knew exactly what we wanted, and we had the impression that they knew exactly how to provide that. So we are moving ahead with discussions with this company to send in a little robot that will take pictures inside the pipe. There's been a lot of improvement in technology since the last one was done, and what I don't want to find is a hole, but I think that their technology is such that if there is one, they'll find it. So we're gonna move ahead in discussions with them.
Questions?
There is a very good possibility if there was a hole, they would find you, because holes is it's only dirt and concrete, which are very.
You're right, if there is a hole, it'll find us all, yeah, right. But, if there is the beginning of a problem with the corrosion or something like that, then we have to figure out what we're gonna do. Whether we line it, or we find a small person that can go in there with a welding torch and weld over it, or something, you know, but, you know. Now, what's the finance, why do you want to say budget, that might be, that would be politically incorrect, yeah. Okay, finance committee is meeting now, on a more or less regular basis, we will be meeting next week. Our main topic right now is the, tuning up the capital account, that, with the quarter of the year elapsed on your finances, there isn't a whole lot to talk about. You know, those were always broke, in which case we have a lot to talk about, okay? And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Tom. And George, I thank you for setting up our resident comedian for lines on the mic.
Okay. Technology Committee, we've had some ups and downs with technology. Alan Kwiatkowski's OCR hardware software package just did not work out well enough to invest additional resources, both in terms of time and money. When it worked, it was magic. The problem was that it didn't work well enough. We recorded a screenshot of the app's graphical user interface, the GUI, in operation for 40 minutes. It simply missed recognizing too many license plates to be an effective tool. We did learn a lot about the Gatehouse's computer network related technology, the resident vehicle database, and the employee's routine. The harder lesson was the difficulty in applying this technology to what theoretically was a game changer for secure and informed entry onto association property. I was able to implement John Doerr's idea of streaming live. It's working right now. Of course, we're talking about TV 1949, before most of us were born. I created an uplinked page to the website lakeheritage.org/live. It will carry live streaming of LHPOA activities. Right now, I only have my Ultrabook as a video device with a customized tripod, it's right over there, and customized equals incredibly primitive. Today was the first, I wrote this yesterday, so today was the first time historically that an event, a Women's Club presentation at 9:45 a.m. was broadcast. I used what I had on hand, my Ultrabook to process video, audio, and transmit to YouTube, an open source app to record and encode, and the community center Wi-Fi network, which isn't meant for full throttle bandwidth. You can look at the recording with its many warts and wrinkles by clicking on lakeheritage.org/live. What I will do is, when the meeting is finished, I will put, what happens is the live streaming automatically records, so I'll send you the link to the video, and you can judge for yourself, what's the potentiality of this type of technology. I'm using just equipment on hand, spent $30 for that stand, nothing more, so it's really cobbled together. Do I make my proposal right now? Okay. I have a proposal to spend an amount not exceeding $1,500 to fund a PoE, that is Power Over the Internet project, which will give the pool area full and complete Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi coverage, and will also enable one IP camera. This project is small, and yet it has great potential, and in all likelihood, we will expand using similar technology at the gatehouse and here. I did go into the particulars at the workshop, and I think the proposal was way over what I should have said. So anyway, to restate, I propose we spend an amount not exceeding $1,500 for POA project. Here.
Accepting your proposal as a motion, I second.
All right, we did that quite expediently. Thank you. Any discussion? Yes.
It's time for us to move, it's time for us to move into the 21st century.
Yes, I agree. Okay, we had a motion, a second. Any more discussion? No, all in favor, aye. All right, George, feel good? All right, excellent. Anything else in your report?
Only that the project emanated from a meeting that I had with Mike Hansen and Dave Lappin, who is our technical consultant. And it should be the beginning of great things.
We are thrilled to hear that. Keep up the good work. Okay, Lincoln Dam, Matt.
I have a few things. First of all, the lake is looking pretty good, and we've got some emails from various sources about the condition of the lake. First of all, from Bill Kirkpatrick, Aquatic Environments. He took microcystin levels. Last year they were way up, but this year they're 0.253 in the coves and 0.169 out in the main lake, which is very, very low. And so that's looking good. And also they took samples of of the water itself, and preliminary findings show 60 to 70% of the algae in the water is green algae. 25 to 35% of diatoms, which are the beneficial bacteria, and only about 5% or less are blue-green algae, which is the one you don't want in the water. So that level is way down from the past. So in the water, in the main part of the lake. They just
Was it in the coves or?
no main part. Yeah, main part of it. It's all across the main part, not in the coves. But with the aeration, everything should be mixing, so it should be pretty much standard all through. Other things to report is we have a bunch of floating islands in, and they're doing well in Plum Run, and over on 762, and over between Barlow and Burnside. They're doing all pretty well over there. However, the ducks and geese have decided that the plants we put in there are tasty, and they wiped out Pleasant Run islands. So we're trying to think of how we could protect the plants in Pleasant Run. So Beth's husband has been working on it. Yeah, it's just not happening. And that's about where we are right now.
Very good. Thank you for that positive report on our lake that has water in it. Property maintenance permit, so forth. Ernie.
Okay, well, the maintenance report is included in your package, and I'm not going to go into detail on the maintenance report, other than just to say that the number one project that we're working on right now is Pleasant Cove, and I know we're about, give or take, maybe 40–50% done with what we've got planned, and I know Barbara might want to talk about it a little bit more, so I won't go into more detail on what's going on down there. The only other thing I want to talk about is, a few days ago, I drove around Heritage Drive, and I took 15 pictures, I think it was, that I turned into you, wasn't it, Mike? Of potential areas that's going to need some repair before winter. Not saying they all will get it, but I did take 15 pictures, so we're looking at that to see, start preparing and thinking about what repair we need to do before winter. And I know Mike's got, is it KPI? That's supposed to be given an assessment? Right, well, we won't go into that yet. But, at least Heritage Drive, we're looking at it right now and, we're putting a plan together a little bit about what repairs we think it needs before winter. The only other thing is I want to thank our maintenance crew for delivering, 4 of those benches that we declared surplus. They are now located inside the dog park, and I thank maintenance for doing that for me. Other than that, I'm done.
Okay, moving on to Barbara, beautification, recreation, community center oversight committees.
Mike, while I'm getting this out, ask you 2 questions. Could you please give us an update on the front entrance, the gate, and the sidewalk? You said that Barry was going to be checking that today for you.
Well, the gate is all set, been cleaned, repainted, is all set to go. The power washing is gonna happen either tomorrow or Friday, so it's scheduled for this week. And hopefully we'll get it all done, but that's the plan.
Well, I appreciate getting on that right away. Second question. Could you give me an update on the sand? Where
Oh,
we're
yeah, no problem. We got a new sand for the places that have sand base. So the playground here is all done. We did deliver some down to Pleasant Cove for the jungle gym, and some folks there helped us spread that out down there, so that's ready to go. The volleyball court is fine, we're not gonna do anything with it. And we do have now the materials we need for replacing the landscape ties around the swing set at Shady Grove. And we have the sand on hand. So again, we're hoping that we're gonna be able to attack that also in the next 2 days. But again, we have everything on hand, so it's the moment we get a chance to do it, we just get it done.
So I appreciate that we're getting on that for me. Okay, basically I do have a report here, but in consideration of the attendees, Len, I've already responded to on yours. Ed, you and I are constantly emailing, and surely you get it from Lorraine. And Pat, you get it from me. So basically, unless there's any questions regarding what's going on, I think I've pretty well covered it with everybody.
Okay, swimming pool fireworks, Beth?
My report was included in the packet, but for those sitting here, I will tell you that we did have an email from a member questioning the hours and use of the pool. And I met with Beth, Rob, and Stephanie, and also reviewed the rules and regulations, and some adjustments have been made. Currently, what will continue to be, is that the pool opens from 10 to 11:30 for adult swim and an adult exercise class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the pool has also been open from 10 to 11:30 for parents, caregivers over 16 years of age, and children who can use the baby pool. The adjustment we made is that for the past couple of years, at least the past year or two, it's been children 36 inches and less who could use the baby pool. Well, the rules and regulations say 6-year-olds, and in checking the average height of 6-year-olds, we realized that we really should change that to 48 inches. So children 6 years old or less and 48 inches can use the baby pool in the morning also. And the pool will open, it does open and will continue to open for the general public at 11:30, from 11:30 until 8 o'clock. I also did some checking and found out that traditionally pools open at noon time, and I checked in Adams County, and most of the pools, actually all the pools, the earliest was 11, and most open at 12. So we're going to continue with the 10 to 11:30 for parents and caregivers and children 6 years old and under 48 inches, and opening for the an adult swim from 10 to 11:30. And all of that requires only one guard be on a chair. And we'll continue to open at 11:30 and close at 8 o'clock. And the community member who did ask about this has been notified. I'm sure he's happy about it, but that's gonna be we're gonna continue to do, other than making the change for the height for the baby pool. Fireworks, were set for September 3rd. I've been in contact with the company. They will be at 8:30. The thermometer will go up shortly for donations at the guardhouse. We do have some donations, but of course, we're looking for more. And that's it.
Questions?
Beth, I just had one question. You said about the change in the height requirement.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't get a chance to look at our current rules and regs regarding pool. Is the old requirement in there, or is the other just age?
All it says in rules and regulations is 6-year-old. So 36 inches wasn't appropriate.
Okay, I just wondered, I didn't know if
And it
I
is-
forgot to look at it.
We do have a measurement on the wall. It's being done on the wall opposite the pool office, yeah. And that's 48 inches and above can go on the slide, so 48 inches and below, baby pool. So it's easy to see.
Okay.
Just to clarify a little bit on that height thing, we were testing out the height thing this year only, just to help the guards be able to identify. They wanted to be able to use armbands to help them identify, so we never did the height thing before, this is all
Oh,
new
was it
this
before?
year.
Oh, it was, okay, well, it's gonna be 6-year-old and younger and 48 inches.
We didn't do the 48 inches though for the slide.
That's
Yes.
always been, it's
Right.
on the slide, that's a
Right.
that's a recommendation from the slide company.
This is just big. Matt?
Under 48 allowed in the big pool?
Well, yeah,
Yes, between 11:30 and 8,
Okay.
but in the morning, yeah, in the
They don't
morning,
have to stay,
no, but in the morning from 10 to 11:30, they can come in and use the baby pool only. 6 years old, under 48 inches and under, and the adults do the adult swim exercise clubs.
Add to the report that the ladies club, donation for fireworks, has been turned in, and the other clubs need to get moved.
Well said, Mr. Moneybags.
Mr. President, while I'm thinking about it, so she was touching on fireworks, and I just want to make a comment. I know it's not on here, but because I am a member of the committee of the regatta, I just want to make sure that we do publish the registration form in the next newsletter. I mean, I don't know if you're going to get a request from Terry, but please make sure that registration form does get published.
it's been in. We're already starting to get some back. Okay, I'm on it,
Okay,
We'll also go to the next one, August 1st too, but yes,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Along with the request for donations for fireworks.
Yes.
and for all of you out there listening to our meeting tonight, Ernie really didn't mean that you were supposed to touch on the fireworks. That was just a figure of speech. Right, safety first. Okay, strategic planning committee,
The strategic planning committee has been reinvigorated with the addition of new members. We have returned to the path already established by the committee in preceding years. The strategic planning committee had a fundamental document, a survey, and the survey addressed 7 different areas, topics involving lake life. We divided the areas among various members. Everyone took, either one or several of us took a particular topic. And in our next meeting, July 17th, we will be going back to that and trying to figure out what is the gap between what we want and what is. Eventually, in December of 2017, we want to have a coherent plan, a document, and we would like to connect with the 2018 budget, if possible. And that's it.
very good, thank you. Governance committee, we continue to meet the last Monday of every month from 6:30 in the afternoon, evening. No, 6 to 7:30, yeah. 6 to 7:30, yes. We taking the show on the road. Anybody who wants to join us, feel free. It is a very frustrating process. Hopefully, we will get it so that we can have it out in the newsletter before we have another decade turning over. But we are making progress, but it is difficult. So that's my report. Anything else for the good of the cause? No? Okay, I will accept a motion for adjournment. Matt and Ernie have taken care of that. We will do a unanimous vote here en bloc, and we're out of here. Thank you. This could be a record.
This one is a new record, you beat Matt's record.
All right, we did it.
Oh, you can't give him any credit, Mike, come on.
We'll give him an asterisk.
I know. Yes, I used it. And, no, actually, he asked a couple more questions. So,